DepEd, Learning Camp not mandatory. Manila, Philippines. Students will not be required to take part in the National Learning Camp, NLC, program that the Department of Education, DepEd, will pilot with grades 7 and 8 students starting this month. In a department order released yesterday, Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte said the NLC is a voluntary learning recovery program that will be offered every end of school year. It will complement the learning efforts in the previous school year and provide a firmer basis for further gains in the upcoming school year. Depending on their needs, students who volunteer for the program will be enrolled in one of 3 camps: enhancement, consolidation, or intervention. The enhancement camp is designed to enrich learning for advanced learners by providing greater depth, breadth, and complexity of learning area competencies. The consolidation camp, meanwhile, is designed to provide further practice on and application of previously taught competencies. Participants will be provided with opportunities to identify links connecting concepts and skills across grade-level competencies. The intervention camp will support students who are yet to grasp foundational mathematics and English skills. Students will receive targeted interventions to help improve their skills and bridge any gaps in their understanding. The enhancement camp will be conducted for 3 weeks, while the intervention and consolidation camps will run for 5 weeks. 3 days per week will be allocated for teacher-student engagement, while the remaining 2 days will be for collaborative sessions among teachers. Based on the guidelines enclosed in the department order, the phased implementation of the NLC will begin this school break for grades 7 and 8 in English, science, and mathematics. It will be expanded to other grade levels and learning areas in the succeeding school years, subject to issuance of separate guidelines. The DepEd said the NLC shall have a maximum of 35 students per class. School heads, however, have the discretion to devise interventions for flexibility of organizing classes based on the availability of teachers and classrooms. The sessions are in line with what Duterte described as NLC's twofold purpose: improving learning performance and strengthening teacher capacity. During the 2-day sessions, teachers will take part in activities that focus on planning and reviewing teaching, sharing effective teaching approaches and strategies, preparing teaching materials, and discussing other teaching-related concerns. The goal is to enhance the teaching and learning process and promote continuous professional development among educators, added the DepEd, noting that the NLC shall enhance job-embedded learning opportunities for teachers. Job-embedded learning promotes reflective practice, collaboration with colleagues, and the exploration of innovative teaching approaches. Through this immersive learning experience, teachers can address real-time challenges, refine their teaching methods, and increase their efficacy in addressing the diverse needs of learners, it added. Teacher participation in the NLC is voluntary. The DepEd said school heads are responsible for identifying prospective teachers who will handle the specific camps. Preference shall be given to teachers who are willing, committed, and highly proficient in their respective areas, added the guidelines. Those who will participate in the program will receive vacation service credits, a certificate of recognition, and other incentives, subject to availability of funds. Schools will be provided with sets of teacher learning materials for the program. In addition to these materials, schools may utilize available supplementary learning resources that align with the targeted learning competencies and the most appropriate teaching approaches and strategies, said the DepEd. Further, a lesson format and design that aligns with the objectives of the NLC shall be provided. A strength of this lesson format and design is that teachers are afforded resources, time, and practice involving learners to further extend their own skills, knowledge, and understanding of teaching and learning, it added. Remedial. The DepEd clarified that schools are not precluded from conducting other activities during the school break, such as reading and mathematics programs for grades 1 to 3 and other enrichment activities in other grade levels. Remedial classes will continue to be conducted in other grade levels until the phased implementation of the NLC is completed. Based on the learner's academic performance in the school year immediately preceding the end of school year break, Learners in need of greater academic support shall be highly encouraged to participate in remedial classes in order to prepare them to transition to the next grade level, added the guidelines. Like the NLC, remedial classes are also voluntary. DepEd, National Learning Camp, not just for students flunking classes. Manila, Philippines. The Department of Education clarified Tuesday that its National Learning Camp will be open for students who want to enhance what they've learned during the school year and not just students with failing grades. The Pilot Learning Camp, which will be rolled out among grades 7 and 8 students in July, is a learning recovery program that will be offered at the end of every school year. According to a DepEd order, it is meant to complement the learning efforts in the previous school year and provide a firmer basis for further gains in the upcoming school year. POA said that DepEd wants to remove the stigma associated with students joining remedial or additional classes offered at the end of regular school years. Before, when you take summer classes or remedial classes, that means you have failing or low marks. That is a stigma we want to get rid of, POA said in Filipino during a Malacanang press briefing. POA added that the department has set its eyes on learning recovery following the gaps in students' knowledge after the pandemic lockdowns. The Learning Recovery Camp is also in response to the country's laggard performance in international assessments on students' reading, science, and mathematics skills, POA added. The Philippines ranked the lowest in reading comprehension and second lowest in science and mathematics in the 2018 program for international student assessment, which tested 15-year-olds across 79 countries. Meanwhile, results of the 2019 Southeast Asia Primary Learning Metrics, SEAPLM, showed that 27% of Filipino students in grade 5 were only able to recognize single words, while only 10% developed enough reading skills to properly transition to high school. 3 options for students. POA explained that the learning camp will have 3 different tiers that students can join depending on their mastery of fundamental subjects, which will be based on the results of the pre-tests they recently took. Students who have mastered the required lessons in class can join the enhancement camp, while students that had acquired but not mastered lessons can join the consolidation camp. Meanwhile, students who need help grasping foundational mathematics and English skills can join the intervention camp. DepEd has said that teacher and student participation in the learning camp is voluntary.